Hello students, today let us solve the illustration 5 in input tax credit chapter. The question is, from the following information of Olla and Company of Kundapur for the month of December 2017, compute the eligible input tax credit and GST payable. They have given 4 transactions where he has made the purchases as well as sales. Let us see each of them. First one is purchases of raw materials from A supplier of Udupi. He stays in Udupi for rupees 1 lakh at 5% GST. Second one is purchases of raw materials B from Kolkata for rupees 5 lakh at 12% GST. Third one is sale of 3 lakh to Mandya at 18% GST. Supply of goods worth 2 lakh to Mysore at 12% GST. Using this, we have to compute the output tax payable. So let us compute the output tax payable. First, let us see the supply, because by calculating the supply, we can find out the total output tax to be paid by Olla and Company. Later, we will see the purchases which has been made. First, you can see a third point, sale of 3 lakh to Mandya. Company is in Kundapur and sales has been done to Mandya. So it is within state, which attracts intrastate, that is CGST and SGST. 3 lakhs of goods has been supplied to Mandya at 18%, so 9% each, CGST as well as SGST. 3 lakh into 9% will be 27,000 CGST and SGST 27,000. IGST is nil. Second is, they have supplied the goods worth rupees 2 lakh to Mysore. Again, Mysore is also within state, so it attracts CGST and SGST. Supply to Mysore 2 lakh. 12% GST they have mentioned. So each CGST as well as SGST 6%. 2 lakh into 6%, it will be 12,000 CGST has to be paid and SGST 12,000. So total tax payable by Olla and Company is CGST 39,000, SGST 39,000. Before computing the GST to be paid, let us see the input tax credit available that can be calculated by purchases made by the company. Purchases, one of the purchases is made by supplier A who stays in Udupi. So it's within state again, intrastate, that is CGST and SGST. 1 lakh of raw materials has been purchased. That is 1 lakh into 5% GST means CGST and SGST together 5%. So each 2.5%, that is 2,500 CGST and 2,500 SGST he has paid for the purchases made from Udupi. Next, he has done the purchases from Kolkata, which is interstate. So IGST of 12% he has paid, that is on 5 lakh 12%, 60,000 IGST he has paid. So total input tax credit available is CGST 2,500, SGST 2,500 and IGST 60,000 credit is available. Usually we are going to calculate the input tax credit on purchases he has made. Whatever the tax he has paid on purchases will be the input tax credit for him. So now we have the total output tax payable as well as input tax credit. So let us compute the GST payable. Total output tax payable CGST is 39,000, SGST is 39,000 and there is no IGST to be paid. But we have the input tax credit IGST 60,000, CGST 2,500 and SGST 2,500, which we can utilize now to setting of these output tax liability. First, let us see CGST. CGST 39,000 tax has to be paid, which we can pay out of 60,000 IGST credit available. Out of 60,000, we can utilize 30,000 for CGST tax payable as well as 30,000 for SGST tax payable. We can utilize in either way, either 60,000 out of 60,000 completely we can pay CGST tax or SGST tax. But here in this case, I am utilizing this 60,000 IGST input tax credit proportionately equally to CGST and SGST. So here you can see I have taken 30,000 of IGST input tax credit to set off CGST tax and 30,000 to set off SGST tax. After setting off both the taxes by utilizing IGST input tax credit, CGST 9,000 remains and SGST also 9,000 remains to be paid. But remember, here we have CGST also input tax credit, we have 2,500 each. Both we have 2,500. That can be utilized now to pay the CGST and SGST 9,000 tax. By setting off these input tax credit 2,500 each, still balance remains 6,500 CGST and 6,500 SGST, which has to be paid by the company in the form of cash.